the Tigers, the Indians, and the White Sox. Those were the teams most predicted would be playoff bound from the American League Central. And here we are, getting ready for the final 3 games of the regular season, with the Twins playing for a shot at the wild card and the Royals going for the best record in the league. Game 1 is coming up next. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. There will be a lot more energy here than the Royals just experienced in Chicago. There is a lot on the line for the final 3 regular season games for the Royals and the Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. These are not playoff games, but this is about as close as the Royals are going to get as they prepare for the playoff games.
Yeah, timing is just right. The final 3 games of the season to come in here where there's a lot on the line. Minnesota Twins, they're battling their hearts out for just a wild card spot, and the Royals want that home field advantage for sure. But Ryan, this is a great tune, a better atmosphere, like you said, than Chicago. Should be fun for these guys to tune themselves up, get those hits, and the big ones with runners in scoring position.
Let's detail exactly what is on the line. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. First of all, don't diminish the season series. Longtime Royals fans will remember what the Twins did to them for about 10 years. The Royals get 1 win in this series. They will win the season series with Minnesota for a 3rd consecutive year. The Royals are tied sort of with the Blue Jays. The Royals need to finish a game ahead because the Blue Jays have the head-to-head advantage for best record. And Minnesota, they're going to be doing all kinds of scoreboard watching because there are several tie-breaking scenarios.
So much better to be on the Royals side, not having to check that scoreboard out, though. I can tell you that from past experience. But still, execute same game, different environment, but execute your pitches, timely hits and defense. Hopefully Young can keep it down.
Boy, if he can pitch close to how he did on Sunday, 5 hitless innings, the Royals will be in great shape. Joel and Monty will talk about Chris Young when we come back.
great start of the year in 4 games against Minnesota. A 1.62 ERA this season. Welcome back to Target Field. Joel Goldberg alongside of Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. And this game and this series, a prelude to the postseason. How much might that help the pitchers?
Well, I think it's going to be great, and especially when you look at this environment here, a lot of energy in this ballpark. It's going to be just like we're going to see to some degree in Kauffman Stadium next week, but I like it for a starting pitcher, especially Chris Young. He understands exactly what it's going to be like in a postseason. He's pitched in postseason before.
Our Honda most trusted player, Chris Young, and Lou Kochever called it one of the gutsiest performances he's ever seen on a baseball field. 5 no-hit innings just after his father passed away last weekend. How did he do it?
Well, without a doubt, Joel, was very courageous. I like the fact he was out of the middle part of the strike zone. He pitches up effectively with that fastball. He's got the great slider that's down below the bats. He did everything right in his last outing.
So Chris Young set to take on Irvin Santana, the former Royal. He's 5-0 with 6 quality starts since August 30th. First pitch is coming up next.
Ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. Play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Visit your local Chevy dealers today for great prices on all the new 2015 vehicles. The Twins are expecting about 32,000 here tonight for game 1 of 3 with the Royals. The Royals are tied with Toronto for the best record, but Toronto leads in head-to-head this year, so if the two teams finish with the same records, Toronto will have home field advantage. So what the Royals need is a win, a series win here in Minnesota, and hope for a series loss for the Blue Jays in St. Petersburg. Royals lineup tonight, it might give you a bit of a scare because there is no Salvador Perez, there is no Lorenzo Cain, and there is no Kendrys Morales, but Ned Yost said all 3 are fine. He just wants to give them all an extra day, and we should see the 3 of them in the lineup tomorrow afternoon. All to face Irvin Santana, who is only making his 7th start of the year because of that 80-game suspension for performance-enhancing drug abuse.
Well, Irvin Santana, he's been on some kind of roll. 5-0 with a 1.46 in his last 6 starts, just giving up 1 home run in 43 innings. He's been on top of it. He's made some adjustments. Got a nice little downhill slider that he's working, his fastball, changeup. He'll be tough, especially this being his last start of the year.
Those are his last 6 starts since August. He is making his 17th start of the year because of the suspension. Minnesota on defense, they have a lot of good athletes. The advanced numbers will say they are a below average defense, but they are very athletic in the outfield with Rosario, Hicks, and Torrey Hunter. The first pitch to Alcides Escobar is fouled away. With the Royals winning again last night and Alcides Escobar leading off, the Royals are 41 games over 500 when he leads off. Good breaking ball for a strike. And Santana's ahead 0-2. Out to second base. Dozier backhands and throws to first in time. Here are the umpires for tonight. Ron Kolpa will be behind the plate. There's the crew chief, Larry Vanover, at first base. Brian Knight is at second. Vic Carapazza will be at third.
Irvin Santana, he's a competitor. He's got a fastball, slider, changeup. Pretty basic, but he's got good command with all 3 of them. It's a lot like Chris Young, except Santana has more velocity. He'll average 92 miles an hour on that fastball. We might see some 93s and 94, but more in the low 90s.
Ben Zobrist is the designated hitter tonight. Christian Colon will play at second base. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All you got to have is a little bit of difference in between the velocity between your fastball, slider, your changeup, and that's all it does to upset the timing of the hitter. Slider has some downward movement that allows the hitter to hit the top of the ball if it's thrown correctly. Zobrist just 3 for 19 in his career off of Irvin Santana.
Full count with Hosmer on deck. Strike 3 over the outside, and you rarely see Zobrist react like that. And it was almost a taunting response from the home plate umpire Ron Kolpa with a big smile on his face. We'll see what the grid says.
Well, you know, Kolpa, he's a guy that has a little bit of edge to him at times.
Wow.
It looked like that was off the plate. Zobrist never, ever shows himself like that, so it had to have been off.
So 2 down to Hosmer, and that's high and away, ball 1.
And as long as he's consistent on both sides, it makes it okay. But if you're inconsistent throughout the game, then that's considered not a good umpiring job. Everybody expects consistency.
Big swing by Hosmer. He won the game on Wednesday with the extra inning home run. He drove in 3 in the White Sox series. He also homered in game 1 with the White Sox. 18 home runs, 91 driven in for Hosmer, and now he's ahead in the count, 3-1.
No, he's really being confident. His swing is back being level again, and he's not jumping out there trying to pull everything. He realizes his strengths are to the middle and to the opposite field. He'll take the walk.
This is a huge start for Irvin Santana. Talking to some people with the Twins today, it was a big disappointment, obviously, when they found out he was going to be suspended for the first 80 games. And officially it was the first 80 games and the postseason, but not many in Minnesota were thinking about the postseason for this year's team. So this is his last chance to do something good on what has been a waste for him and the Twins with that long suspension. He gets the Royals in the top of the first inning. Minnesota is coming up against Chris Young when we come back. ...90-loss seasons going into this year. The Royals were here for their home opener, and they were awful. The Twins began the season 1-6, and it looked like another long year for Paul Molitor and the Twins. Molitor had been on the coaching staff for years. This is his first year as manager. They then won 20 of their next 27 games, and they've been players ever since. And now just one game back, tied with the Angels. Both teams behind the Astros for the second spot in the wild card, and they'll take a shot at Chris Young tonight.
Yeah, be over 30,000 here at Target Field ready for this game. I'm telling you, this is a big one. Molitor doing a fantastic job in his rookie year, the Hall of Famer. They're buying in. They have energy. They have fun in their clubhouse. This is a team that's no one expected anything out of them. You know, the second worst record in the American League last season.
Very high to left field. Does Alex have enough room? He did everything he could. 1-1 on Dozier.
He had plenty of time as that ball had a lot of air underneath it, and he was planning his ascension or descension into the stands. It's beautiful. He's ready. Chris Young, when he's going good, he gives up a lot of fly ball outs. Hopefully that's the case.
Line foul. This would appear to be a good night for Chris Young. The wind is blowing in, not as strong as it was in Chicago the last two nights. This is a big ballpark. It is a cool night, and he is a fly ball pitcher. 2-2 on Dozier.
Young's not going to do anything fancy outside of being deceptive with that delivery at 6'10". Fastball, some hitters call it in the league the invisible because it's hard to pick up. Look what the opponents are hitting. Just 216 off of it. Slider changeup. You see the break on his slider right there. It breaks straight down. It's a good one. It's not, doesn't have any lateral movement, because lateral movement gets hit in the strike zone and stays in it longer. That downward action like that gets a lot of hitters to hit over the top of it.
Struck him out. Got him with a fastball down and away. And that is strikeout number 147 for Dozier. That is a Minnesota Twins record.
And he looked completely fooled on that fastball. Mainly is because it was down and on the outer half. Young likes to throw fastballs that are up in the zone that are borderline pitches. So he surprised him with his fastball.
At the knees, and a strike to Joe Mauer. Batting at just 265. He is much more dangerous, however, with runners in scoring position, one of the best in the league. 1 ball and 1 strike. Minnesota Twins just took 3 out of 4 from the Cleveland Indians. They had a huge comeback victory last night. If they had lost that game, their season would essentially be over. That would have put them in a spot, and they were down in the 8th inning. It would have put them in a spot where they would be 2 games back in the wild card with only 3 games to go. But they rallied, and they scored 3 runs in the 8th inning and beat Cleveland 4-2 to take the series. 2-2 on Mauer.
Pins and needles these games are, and you know, even when you're playing against teams that aren't in it, like the Royals were playing the White Sox in Chicago, nobody in the stands, hard to find any kind of outward motivation, but you have to find it internally. And one of the biggest things you can do in games like this is to slow it down, slow everything down, take a couple deep breaths.
Mauer is on with a 1-out single. And the Royals defensively tonight, presented by Ford. Gerard Dyson's in center. Ned Yost wants to give Lorenzo Cain 1 more game off. Christian Colon is at second, as Ben Zobrist is the DH. Kendrys Morales is available to pinch hit. And Drew Butera, who spent a few years playing for the Twins, is back there for Salvador Perez. Salvi's expected to play tomorrow. 1 on 1 out to Miguel Sano. And his last swing against the Royals was a big one. An extra inning home run back at Kauffman Stadium to help Minnesota take 2 out of 3 in the series.
You know, I remember the home run, but what I remember more was the strike that was thrown before the home run that the umpire didn't call. That's what I remember.
Didn't he have a similar thing happen within that week? He had a big home run late in the game, or a big hit against the Tigers late in the game, which tied the score. And earlier in that count, there was a strike that wasn't called. One and 2. Sano has 18 home runs, 52 driven in, which isn't going to knock your eyes out. But then remember, he didn't start until July. That's when he was called up from the minor leagues.
Now, this guy, he can impact a game with 1 swing of the bat. He's got good discipline as far as plate discipline goes, and good power. You can see the home runs amongst rookies, but he does swing and miss at a lot of pitches.
Just nicked it foul.
All right, here was the pitch. 3-2. Morales thought he had him struck out, and then the next pitch. Oh, I remember that. You could hear the wind leave the sails of the Royals fans. They were like, oh, no. That's baseball.
That might bounce off the moon.
Stay with it.
If we were in the Metrodome, that may have hit a speaker or the roof. My goodness.
A little bit of hang time.
Even his pop-ups are exciting. Chris Young, a start he'll never forget, will never forget. 5 hitless innings. The Royals badly needed a win. Starting pitching had been down for about a month, and he turned in 5 hitless innings. The Royals won 3-0, and then we found out after the game that he received word the night before that his father had passed away, so he was pitching with that on his mind. pitching with a heavy heart. And when he was done in the 5th inning, with so much emotion just hanging in the balance, Ned Yost simply shook his hand. He went right down the tunnel into the clubhouse, changed his clothes, and head back to Dallas to be with his family.
Yeah, and we didn't realize that either until after the game. We got word of that, but the way he pitched on Sunday was magnificent. He was dissecting, and you know what happened? He started the string of competition amongst the starters. Chris Young did. Everybody else jumped on board. Ventura, Cueto, Volquez, Medlin, they all said, all right, look, that's what we need, a leader. Somebody go out and set the table, and that's what we've seen a lot this year. Guys competing with amongst each other internally.
Good location to Plouffe. And by the way, all those numbers we just showed you, that adds up to a 1.5 ERA, 1 full turn through the rotation. Dangerous hitter here, 22 home runs, 86 driven in. Trevor Plouffe. That'll be back into the crowd. The 86 driven in. That's a new career high for Plouffe. And he's 2 home runs shy of his career high. Little pop up. And Butera will run out of room.
A little defensive swing there by Plouffe, just trying to protect. I've seen so far in this inning, though, a few Twins not taking good swings. They're not seeing it. They're not being able to pick it up very well.
Left field. Alex to the line, on the line, and he brings it down. Small victory for Minnesota. They did make Young throw 23 pitches. Otherwise, a good inning for Chris. No score. Taking the trip up I-35, and we'll see a lot of Royals fans on Tuesday as we kick off another October with the Take the Crown postseason pep rally. Open to all fans. It's a free event and will feature appearances from Dayton Moore and Ned Yost, player interviews, highlight videos, and a chance to catch batting practice. And the gates open at 11:15 a.m. Well hit, right center field. And that is off the very top of the wall. Alex Gordon is into second base with a double. He has more home runs and RBIs against the Twins than any other team. And he almost hit another home run. He'll settle for his 17th double.
How could that ball not leave the yard? Oh, It was crushed. Straight fastball down the middle. Alex barreled it. Just didn't quite get enough height on it to get it over that tall wall there in right center field. Yep, you can see without the replay that it hit under the yellow line up on the top padding of that scoreboard. And the kick back into the playing field. I thought for sure that was out.
Ed Yost is still going to request a challenge. Not his challenge, but they can still ask the umpires to use their discretion with a boundary call when it comes to a home run. So it appears the Royals will not win this, but they will hang on to their challenge. If there's a bright side to what just happened to Alex Gordon, I go back to describing the weather conditions with Chris Young on the mound. Say that Alex Gordon did have a double. That ball that Alex hit doesn't go out. That bodes well for Chris Young being a fly ball pitcher.
Sure does. And by looking at the flag, sometimes that can be a telltale sign. But you know, sometimes in these enclosed ballparks with the stands, it does funny things to the wind. But so far, the flight of baseballs in the outfield have not carried. Look for more of those cookies down the middle. Irvin's in the first inning left a couple sliders up.
Alex Rios with a runner at second, nobody out. Rios has 33 career at bats against Santana. When Santana was in his prime and pitching for the Angels, you were broadcasting for the Angels, I was broadcasting for the Royals. I don't know how many times the Royals would face Irvin Santana, and when the game was over, the Royals would say, that's the best slider we've seen all year.
It's been his signature pitch his entire career. But Irvin, you know, he's a competitor. He's very calm on the outside, but inside he loves to compete and he loves to win. He works hard, conditions himself properly. The Twins, you know, they didn't do anything wrong with the signing of Irvin Santana, but they didn't have any idea they were going to lose him the first year they got him. Good pitch on the outer half. Rios will take a shot to right field. That's the perfect pitch to do it on. Get that runner over to third.
One down. That's Santana's second strikeout.
Well, you wonder about the thought process there. You know, that swing there, that's a hope I hit a home run swing. I hope he hangs it. You got to be thinking about moving Alex over, doing the little things. That was not a good at bat.
Hello to Christian Colon getting the start at second base with Zobrist being the designated hitter tonight.
Now Colon's a guy who likes to think middle away. He'll react on anything soft that's up and elevated and pull it, but his mindset for the most part is up the middle and try to get on base. Just try to find a hole.
And now he's down 1-2. I don't know if it's the angle of the cameras, and here at Target Field our home plate cameras are higher than normal, but it almost looks more like a curveball than a slider. It's the tilt.
It does have more depth to it. Tried to pull that one.
2 down. Only 3 teams in the major leagues have scored more runs with 2 outs than the Royals, our Toyota League leaders for tonight, and the Giants have only scored 1 more run. Look at the Red Sox in a bad year for them. 324 runs with 2 outs. Drew Butera grounds it out to Escobar, and the Royals waste Alex Gordon's leadoff double. spot. Paul Molitor, he figures, going to get several votes for American League Manager of the Year. 4 consecutive 90-loss seasons. Last year at this time, they were 68 and 91. Look at that far right column. Their starters' ERA was over 5. Now, 7 games above 500, and their starters' ERA has come down almost a full point. And that's without having Urban Santana for half the year. So they're thinking wild card. They're hoping wild card. They're going to need help from other teams, but I think everyone outside of Minnesota would agree that even if they don't get the wild card, that's a very successful season.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And Molitor, he'll be up for considerations along with Jeff Bannister, manager of the Texas Rangers. He's done a nice job. Both managers, first-year guys. So it can happen. It happened last year in the National League with Matty Williams. The Nationals, he got manager of the year in his first season.
1-1 to Eddie Rosario. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rosario, Hunter, and Hicks. The 3 Minnesota outfielders are coming up.
So there's been a lot of talk about rookie Miguel Sano, the third baseman, power third baseman, DH. He's DH tonight. But really, it's this young man right here, Eddie Rosario, that's been their most consistent rookie.
Pass to diving Hosmer into right field, and Minnesota has a leadoff single.
He's in the top 10 in almost every rookie category this season. Gets the ball where it's pitched. Got one up in the zone there. He's able to get on top of. Got it right by Haas.
And now Torrey Hunter. Gets through Butera. Rosario goes to second base.
Looked like a slider that was down, and let's see where it hit. Too bad there. It just went right under Butera's legs. It didn't hit Ron Copa's shin guards. Between both wickets. Be a wild pitch.
Now we'll see what Minnesota does with a runner at second base and nobody out. Hunter pops it up. One down. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning in St. Petersburg. How about that? Tampa Bay helping out the Royals so far with a 4-1 lead. Toronto led early 1-0, and now Tampa has 4 unanswered runs. If Tampa Bay hangs on and the Royals win tonight, they will have a 1-game advantage for best record. This is Aaron Hicks with Rosario at second base and 1 out. Hicks was Minnesota's first-round pick in 2008, and up until this year has really struggled as a major league player. Now the pieces are starting to come together. Base hit into center field. Hicks drives in Rosario, and Minnesota leads 1-0. Hicks had been hitless in his last 12 at-bats before that RBI single.
All it takes is one, and this was it. Fastball right down the middle. Stayed on top of it with a nice little easy inside-out swing. Stayed up the middle. Cologne playing him to a slight pull, had no chance.
Here's the Minnesota catcher Kurt Suzuki. Hicks runs, and the Twins try to hit and run. Suzuki was reaching for a pitch that was out of the strike zone. Hicks has stolen 13, and he's only been caught 3 times. Minnesota, by the way, is 10th in the American League in stolen bases. It's not normally a big part of their offense. Oh, 2.
But against Chris Young, maybe it happens here in this game, because Chris Young has given up an 87% success rate against base stealers in his career. So he didn't really care too much about holding runners. And his focus has always been on the hitter.
One and 2 on Suzuki. Talk about that game when Miguel Sano hit the home run in the 12th inning to win it for Minnesota. Remember, the Royals had a great scoring opportunity before that, and Kevin Jepson, remember, made that awkward feed to Suzuki at home, and Suzuki had to leave with a knee injury. And there's a base hit into left field on a 1-2 pitch. And Minnesota has runners at first and second with 1 down.
Okay, Chris Young not executing his fastball where he wants it here in this inning. Now, he's good when he's right below the letters, in between the belt in that area, but when his fastball that tops out at 89, 88 miles an hour, when it's down and out over the middle, it's hittable. So he's got to make sure to keep that fastball where he's comfortable with it, and that's just above the belt and below the letters. And he gets hitters looking up there for that pitch, and then he drops that slider on him, and maybe needs to mix in a few more changeups.
Strike to Eduardo Escobar.
Chris Young has only induced 1 ground ball double play all season. So we talked about him being a fly ball pitcher.
And all of his outs so far tonight are in the air or a strikeout.
Hey, line drive, let's go. There you go. There, let's go. Go.
Going for it all, Escobar. No balls, 2 strikes. And he does have 12 home runs. Foul tip and a strikeout. That's Chris Young's second.
Looks like he just blew this ball by him. And that's the part of the deception that Young has coming out of that 6'10" frame. Downhill, it comes out of a tall hill and then goes downhill. It's hard for hitters to pick that up, and at times it looks like he throws 95 by hitters. Just like that last pitch.
Young's first strikeout was against Dozier, and now he rips one to Moustakas. He'll take it to the bag, and that's the inning. So both teams had a runner at second with nobody out in the second inning. Minnesota turns it into a run for a 1-0 lead. excitement, historic performances. Don't miss the 2015 postseason beginning Tuesday. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule. Dyson takes a strike from Irvin Santana. Dyson is playing in center field as Kane is going to rest that bruised knee for a second game. Royals are going to try and get it done tonight against Irvin Santana without Lorenzo Cain, without Kendrys Morales, and without Salvador Perez. Dyson hits it to the gap. That is going to roll deep. Hunter is able to cut it off, so that's saved a triple. And for the second straight inning, the Royals have a leadoff double. Speaking of speed, let's go to Joel.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of injuries, I'm probably more injury prone than a lot of these guys. And the University of Kansas Hospital injury report is loaded with Royals right now. Lorenzo Cain left the game a couple of nights ago. Knee is still a little bit sore, Ned Yost saying. They're just being careful. They expect him back tomorrow. In Kendrys' case, he left that game last night. And again, you got a night game here, a little bit chilly. He's available to pinch hit as Eski's going to lay down the sacrifice bunt.
He missed him.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw no touch either. Yeah, it was that hesitation when Santana picked up the ball. He was thinking, I'm going to go to first, and then he goes, oh no, I'm going to tag him. And sometimes that's all it takes. Sorry, Joe.
No, that's okay. Does that go as a sack, bunt, and an error?
Well, the Twins are going to challenge, so let's not get too excited.
Yeah, let's see. We can tell if he see how he was looking at first, and then Escobar.
Nah, he got him.
Yeah.
I like the way Hunt saw it, though.
Yeah, he's got room on that outside there, too. You know, you don't have to run inside that line there. You can go on that outside. And by the time Escobar thought that he was going to tag him, it's too late. Look where he is. He's inside that line there.
So it's going to end up being a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah. He didn't go hard right out of the box, and I think that had something to do with Santana deciding, you know what, why take my chances of throwing it if I can just go over and tag him. So Dyson goes to third. Sacrifice one unassisted.
All right, let's take a look at it here. Escobar starting on the inside part on the grass there. And you know that's typical for a lot of right-handed hitters. You're going to come out of the box on the inside, but he needs to hug that line a little bit more and avoid that tag if he could. But you know what? The job was done. He got the runner over. That's the bottom line. Now you got to get this run and execute.
Anyway, Lorenzo Cain expected back tomorrow. Kendrys Morales available to pinch hit. That would make sense. They don't really want him running all game long, but they think he could be back tomorrow. And Salvador Perez, he could have played tonight, but with a day game tomorrow, you give him tonight off. He had that little thumb injury last night. And talking to trainer Nick Kenny, he said, we're doing our due diligence with everyone. It's that time of year where everybody's banged up and has aches and pains. They want to make sure everybody is ready to go for the postseason.
3-0 on Zobrist. He took a called third strike on a pitch that was way outside in the first inning and reacted with frustration, and he hardly ever does that. And it's early, so the infield is back. Even a well-placed ground ball would tie the game. This time it's ball 4.
Now, you didn't see Zobrist take that and then look at the umpire saying, yeah, that's the way it should have been the first time. You know, there's no attitude there. A lot of hitters would do that to an umpire. Zobrist plays the game the right way. Similar pitch, throwing him up. Now he just says, all right, I'll take my base and let Hosmer do the damage.
Hosmer walked his first time. Over the inside, fastball at 94. Wow, what happened? for Toronto in the top of the 6th inning. It was just 4-1 Tampa Bay. And now it's 0-2 on Hosmer.
Yeah, well, those power bats, they can score runs on one swing. Hosmer would like to do it here with one swing if he could just find a way to get that ball airborne.
Got a piece, and Suzuki didn't hang on.
Ooh, man, that changeup Irvin went to was well located. Haas just got a tick on it.
Going to set up inside, and again Hosmer fouls it away.
Nope, he's just fighting off any of those borderline pitches here. Irvin doesn't want to make a mistake anywhere out over the middle of that plate, so he's making sure to stay down and inside, tie him up.
Ooh, made a mistake. It was supposed to be inside on Hosmer. It was up and away, still 0-2. That's one statistic that stands out for Minnesota to explain where they are. The other statistics don't add up to a team in their position. Good block by Suzuki. It's kind of like what Ned Yost has been saying about Alcides Escobar leading off. The numbers would tell you that that's not a good spot for him, but it just works. The Royals just win when he leads off, and Minnesota's numbers, you look at them and you go, that's a 90 loss team. You look at each category individually, and nope, they're 7 games above 500. Hosmer lays off the slider, 2-2.
Okay, good job. Now Irvin's testing him here, being ahead in the count. He can afford to waste a few pitches. Those are some good spots. Hosmer swinging at those earlier. Wait him out. Minnesota Twins playing Hosmer straight up in the outfield and straight up on the infield.
And now 3-2. So from 0-2 to 3-2. We'll see if Ben Zobrist takes off to help avoid the chance for a ground ball and a double play. Hosmer has struck out 107 times this year, so it could be a risk to send him.
Anything close, be hacking. Don't want to get called out looking. Get that run home. Sometimes you got to take a gamble. Zobrist is going, wants to make sure Irvin goes home.
He's running, and it's grounded to Mauer. Race to the base at first, and the throw goes into St. Paul. The Royals tie the game. Dyson comes home. Hosmer gets his 92nd RBI.
Looked like Zobrist was going to continue to steal. He took off, took 3 hard steps and stopped. Mauer kind of just lobbed the throw to the shortstop. Shortstop Escobar then just in turn lobbed it back to first base and didn't work. Haas would have beat him with a good throw. There was no need for him to throw that ball. Just get the out.
So a runner in scoring position for Mike Moustakas, and Santana got him on a ground ball to second in the first inning, and that was with Dozier with the overshift positioned out at shallow right field. Now the Twins are more straight up for Moustakas, and he hits it in the air to left center field. Hicks waits for it to come down, and that's the inning. This time the Royals turn the leadoff double into a run. To the bottom of the third, we have a 1-1 tie. Baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread. Avoid the lines. Order online with rapid pickup at delivery.panerabread.com. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Thoroughbred Ford. For great deals on new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. Beautiful night. Early fall weather. And just a little bit of a breeze. Much different from Chicago with that wind blasting out of the north. The temperature is very similar, but boy, we're getting to that point of the year where when it's very windy on a night like tonight, you start talking about wind chill. They have a giveaway here tonight, similar to the Royals had last Saturday with a knit stocking cap, getting ready for the fall and winter. Sharply hit to Cologne, and Mauer is out. He singled his first time up. Second ground ball out for Chris Young. And now he gets Miguel Sano, who hit one up into the clouds and eventually popped out to Cologne in the first inning. Just barely missed it. No balls, one strike.
He's guessing. When you're guessing fastball, a high one from Young, and you know, and he throws you that slider, that's this kind of swing you get.
Close, but outside, 1-1. Fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike on Sano.
One of the many heartwarming stories on last Sunday in Young's start was finding out before the game that his teammates went up to Chris Young and said, "How about a fly ball out?"
If it comes down, it's got a chance to be an out. My gosh, he hit the ball high. 2 down. Go ahead.
He's got tremendous power. They said, "Chris, we got your back. We're gonna pick you up today. You go out and just do your thing, and we're gonna win this game." I like that. That's teams rallying in a tough time for a guy that's hurting emotionally, and they picked him up. They made all the plays, and they won that game.
2 down to Trevor Plouffe, and that's outside. And Joel, you heard of some of those pregame conversations for Chris Young before the game on Sunday.
I did. He was incredibly moved by it and was extremely close with his father. On the 21st of September, which was the Royals' last home off day, he went back home to Texas. His dad has had cancer for some years, and he had some close calls. This one was not expected, and Chris wasn't so much going home to say goodbye or see his father. As a matter of fact, he says that he regrets not being able to say goodbye to his father, but he did get a chance to see him 5 days before he passed by going and spending time with the family. His dad used to take him to the ballpark or out to the field and play catch with him all the time. He's got wonderful memories of his father, Charles, who said he always put his wife, his daughters, and Chris ahead of himself.
We have played 3, and the game is tied at 1. Chris Young has pitched 3 innings. He has allowed 1 run on 4 hits. The Royals have 1 run on 2 hits as they bat in the 4th inning against Irvin Santana. Alex Gordon will lead off, and Alex just missed a home run with a double in the 2nd inning. The Royals were unable to get him home, and now Alex is not so sure of that call by home plate umpire Ron Kolpa. 0-2.
Heads up on deck. That ball just went by Rios.
One ball, 2 strikes. Alex has 20 home runs and 63 driven in against Minnesota. That's the most home runs and RBIs for him against one team. Pulls it on the ground to Dozier. 1 away. Irvin Santana has been pitching very well lately. He got off to a very good start. Then he struggled for several starts. And now trying to finish strong. There is a chance if Minnesota has to play a tiebreaker to get to the wild card game, that would be, even though it's past 162, it'd still be considered a regular season game. So there is a chance he could start again after tonight, but more than likely this will be his last contribution to the 2015 Twins, whether they make it to the postseason or not.
Yeah, he struggled mightily in his start in August on the 25th against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Irvin Santana. We can see what he's done in September, but this was at the end of August. He went 2 2/3 inning, 8 hits against the Rays, 5 runs. He didn't last very long on that one, so he had to make some adjustments. His shoulder was flying out open, a lot like what's happened to Cueto. He was leaving his pitches flat out over the plate. He also shortened his stride foot to get a little bit more leverage on top to downhill, so he's able to make some adjustments with new pitching coach Neil Allen. And it's impressive that a guy with over 300 career starts would have the attitude to listen and say, okay, I'll try this, I'll try that, because most guys with over 300 career starts, they're stuck on their own way and they'll do it the way they want to do it. So it's impressive to talk about Irvin Santana's ability to be coachable at this stage in his career. Hitters, pitchers, they all got to make adjustments.
Neil Allen, by the way, is from Kansas City, Kansas. Had a chance to meet him earlier this year, and when I told him I was a Royals broadcaster, he said, "Whatever happened to Denny Matthews? I used to go to my grandmother's house." It sounds like a Norman Rockwell portrait. I used to go to my grandmother's house, and she always had the game on the front porch. I said, "Well, he's still broadcasting for the Royals." "Really?" he said. "I would sure like to meet him." So Denny went down and met Neil Allen. Here's Denny and Fizz just to our left. Popped up, shallow left. 3 Twins in pursuit, and it's caught by Plouffe, the third baseman, 2 down.
Yep, better be calling it loud and long.
Fouled away by Colon. Santana got him on a pop up to second in the second inning. Christian Colon last year made his big league debut here at Target Field, coming on late in a game. To Plouffe, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. The Royals and Twins are tied at 1. MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are with live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, the MLB.TV game of the day, and more. Download MLB.com At Bat for your phone or tablet. You know, there are some outfits that it's just a shame that they stop making them once you get to a certain age. Is there an adult version of that outfit?
I don't know, but
I would wear it.
He looks warm.
Eddie Rosario leads off. He also led off the second inning. He singled. He went to second on a wild pitch and scored on Aaron Hicks' base hit. One strike. The first 7 hitters in Minnesota's lineup tonight are originally from the Twins organization, and that includes several first-round picks. And I say originally because that includes Torrey Hunter, who then went to the Angels, the Tigers, and now is back with the Twins. Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Torrey Hunter, and Aaron Hicks are all first-round picks from the Twins organization. Kurt Suzuki, their catcher, and Eduardo Escobar, their shortstop, are from other organizations, so they have rebuilt from within, mostly from within.
Didn't Escobar take over after Jeter and was supposed to be the next shortstop?
That was Nunez.
Oh, Nunez.
Yep. Their other shortstop.
That's right. Ooh.
Rios brings it down in right field. One down in the bottom of the 4th. Torrey Hunter With a runner at second base and nobody out in the second inning, popped to short.
Looks like a pretty good pitch. He swings at that, he hits a homer.
One and one.
I talked with Torrey before the game about facing Chris Young, and now Torrey's 2 for 16 in his career. He said he'd rather face Nolan Ryan.
Moustakas throws him out, 2 down. Time for a Mazda game break. Let's go to a game that a lot of Twins fans are keeping an eye on. The Angels led 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Shin-Soo Choo goes to the opposite field against Jared Weaver to tie that game at 1.
That's the right approach against Weaver. Weaver is a guy who doesn't throw hard, but he expands the zone, and he stayed inside of that nicely. Went to the opposite field. Perfect approach.
And then in St. Petersburg, well, it was exciting for us for a while. Tampa Bay in the 5th inning led 4-1. I think that's the second straight time that the Blue Jays have beaten up Chris Archer. Archer goes tomorrow. Okay, Chris Archer goes tomorrow, but boy, the Jays really got on him when Tampa Bay was in Toronto. Who took the beating tonight? Erasmo Ramirez. 2-2 on Hicks. His single in the 2nd inning drove in Rosario to drive in the Minnesota run. Up the middle, Escobar is there. Throws! He got him!
Oh, what a beauty!
Paul Molitor moves about 7 feet out of the dugout as the Twins take another look at it, and so will we.
Oh, stayed on top with that arm slot in a perfect. Got it. I believe Haas's foot was still on the base by looking at that. And Molly says you guys may be excused.
Great play by Alcides Escobar. And now Chris Young has retired the last 8 Twins. Home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and history. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
I like that. I see our guy Haas right in the middle of all that. That's a great sign.
A lot of room in left center field in this ballpark, and the wind is blowing in. Rosario takes care of Drew Butera. Butera is 0 for 2. And now Santana will get Gerard Dyson. Santana got around a leadoff double in the second inning, but Dyson led off the third inning with a double. And he went to third on a sac bunt by Alcides Escobar and scored on a fielder's choice from Eric Hosmer. 1-1. A little bit inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hear a faint "Let's Go Royals" chant. 2-2. Slash foul.
If you watch Irvin Santana, he doesn't leave the dirt area. He throws a pitch, he's back up there, he's between 10 and 12 seconds in between pitches.
Full count on Dyson.
I think he works a good quick tempo for his defenders behind him.
Those fans are out in the left field bleacher seats. Dyson, right center field, and it is down. Dyson on his way to second base again. He has his second double.
Perfect placement. And man, Dyson was calling for the gravity ball in a worse way. He was saying, all right, get down now, get down, you're in the right place. Sure enough, hit kicks couldn't get to it. Good placement. Kind of got in on his hands a little bit, jammed him, so he didn't really drive it, but dropped it right in there.
That's the third time in Dyson's career he's had more than 1 double in a game. And now here's the top of the order.
Dozier, the second baseman, is going to have to give up some ground to hold Dyson closer.
Up the middle. Bobbled, but the ball went right up to Escobar's throwing hand. So he gets the Royals Escobar, and Dyson goes to third. And now Santana will get Zobrist with 2 down. Remember to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com. You'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. Off speed and in for a strike. Zobrist was called out on strikes in the first inning. He was not happy. The pitch appeared to be well outside. And then Zobrist walked in the third. 1-1.
Sure like to see Zobrist have his target field like playing skills, as he can really rake here. He's hitting .361 over his career with a .636 slugging percentage. Had some really good games here. The target.
Way out in front.
.364.
Two and two.
Irvin's unloaded 3 wild pitches this year. Dyson with his speed, anything that bounces and kicks to Suzuki's left or right, got to be ready to score.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back into a big crowd here tonight. They were expecting around 32,000 and not really knowing the dynamics of this ballpark. It looks like they've done better than that. Back to Santana. Inning over. Royals lead Dyson at third base. We go to the bottom of the 5th in a 1-1 tie. Happy to pass along that message back to Kansas City. We are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Royals' last regular season game is the day after tomorrow, but Fox Sports Kansas City will have you covered. The Boulevard Royals live postgame show will be on after every playoff game. Joel, Monty, Hud, and I will break down the games. For the home games, we'll be at Kauffman Stadium. When the Royals are on the road, the show will be anchored from the Power and Light District. It's the postseason coverage you'd expect from your home of the Royals, Fox Sports Kansas City. Chris Young will get Kurt Suzuki, Eduardo Escobar, and Brian Dozier. Young has set down the last 8 Twins hitters. Suzuki singled to left in the 2nd inning. Sliders a little bit down. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Moustakas, and he caught it on the fly. He was ready to throw to first base, but he heard third base umpire Vic Carapazza say it was a catch. 1 down.
Chris Young on Sunday threw 68 pitches, so he's right just underneath that. You never know, if he gets a quick inning here, he could come back again.
Now the general rule is about 15 pitches per start, as a starter is building endurance. But that's a pitcher who is deliberately building endurance. Chris Young hadn't started in 2 months and then became a starter and went to 68 pitches. So we can assume that he'll be right around 80, maybe a little more, but we'll see. High and deep to right field and hooking and foul. Boy, did the wind grab that thing and push it back toward the infield.
Could be another night for those outfielders and infielders to keep their eye on that ball when it's hit up in the air, because the wind's doing some more tricks to it.
Two and two. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Young is trying to get Escobar on a fastball up, but the last 2 pitches were too high to tempt him. Ryan Dozier is on deck. So Escobar comes back after being down 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's Chris Young's first walk. And now Dozier, he is 0 for 2. Boy, have the Royals done a number on him this year. Dozier has 28 home runs, 76 driven in. But hitting 180 with no home runs, 3 RBIs against KC. Home runs, the most for a second baseman in the major leagues. It's the most home runs by a Twins middle infielder of all time, but he pays the price with that big swing. 147 strikeouts as a Twins franchise record, and one of those strikeouts occurred tonight in the first inning. Brian Dozier never hit more than 9 home runs in a minor league season. And now in his last 3 years, he's hit 18, 23, and 28. And he still has 28 home runs. Escobar bluffed a tag and decided to hold. 2 down.
Just gotta love how Chris Young battles, keeps his team in games, uses that borderline high fastball, which a lot of hitters love it up there, but they just can't seem to stay on top of it. And you know, when I looked at Mauer's batting average at 265, I had to do a whoa, man. You know, he's a career 319 hitter in the big leagues.
He has won 3 batting titles, and those years he hit 347, 328, and 365. So his last batting title, his batting average was 100 points better than it is right now.
Yeah, during those years I was broadcasting for the Angels, and Mike Socia had a great catching career, and he raved about Mauer. He said if he could go back and be another catcher, it would be Joe Mauer, because the ability he has with that bat to use the whole field, line to line. He's just got a good level swing, and he understands hitting.
When he won his first batting title in 2006, it was the first time an American League catcher had ever won a batting title. First time, and then he won 2 more. He's also won 3 Gold Gloves. He has been an American League MVP. Hit well to center field. Dyson is there, and that is the inning. Chris Young has set down 11 of the last 12 Twins hitters.
Nice job.
Chris gave him a quick nod of the head, and it looks like he's going to come back out for the 6th inning. In the Royals half of the 6th, it'll be Hosmer, Moustakas, and Gordon. The Royals have 1 run on just 3 hits against Santana so far. Our Sonic Slam inning contestant is Pam Dodds from Butler. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Pam wins $200. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Pam wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Well, 11 of Hosmer's 18 home runs this season have either tied the game or given the Royals the lead. So he has hit some clutch homers. $200, by the way. Pam, I'm sure, could find a place for. Let's see if. Thought he might get a green light, but he says, all right, same situation, 3-1. He's got to come back to me.
Hosmer asks for time and pats his chest, telling Santana, that's me. And he'll take a leadoff walk. I mentioned the Royals have only 3 hits against Santana, but all 3 hits have been extra base hits. Dyson has doubled twice. Gordon has doubled. And now Santana has walked 3.
Hosmer twice. That gives Hosmer 59 walks. That's a career high for him.
Fastball strike to Moustakas. He snaps his head back. Maybe thinking that that pitch was inside. He is grounded out to second and flied out to center field.
Going to come right back in there.
Didn't hit his spot, but he got a swing and a miss. One and two. balls, 2 strikes. Santana once a big strikeout pitcher. Has struck out 2 tonight. And he's got Zobrist and Rios. And Moustakas drills it to center field. Back goes Hicks. And he makes a running play.
Wow, Hicks with a good adjustment. I don't think he realized how hard Moose hit that ball. He gets up under that just a little bit more, and that's off the wall for sure. As that changeup stayed up. And Hicks, it looked like he was not going to make it. He didn't take the best route to the ball. He was able to catch it there. Big play.
Inside to Alex Gordon. He just missed a home run to right center field in the 2nd inning. Doubled off the top of the scoreboard. And then Santana got him to roll one to second base in the 4th. Two and 0.
Moose would like to have that changeup back that just laid out over the middle of the plate.
2-1. Santana has been mostly efficient tonight. He approached 20 pitches in the 3rd inning. Now coming up on 90 pitches with 1 down in the 6th. To the opposite field. And Rosario backs up. 2 down. So Hosmer back to first. He led off the inning with a walk. He has 2 walks tonight, and he was one of the players to watch at DraftKings.com. Hosmer's also driven in a run, his 92nd of the year. Go to DraftKings.com, enter the promo code BRoyal to play daily fantasy baseball for free. Dallas Keuchel goes for his 20th win. The Astros in Arizona are just underway in Phoenix. Fouled away by Rios. He has struck out and fouled out to 3rd.
Rios keeps trying to put one in the seats in left field. It seems like every swing he's taken tonight, he's pulling off the ball.
Hosmer runs, and the pitch is down and away, and Hosmer is in with a stolen base. So he gets into scoring position with 2 down for Rios.
Yeah, that's his 7th. Good jump. You know, the fact that Suzuki's only thrown out 9% of runners this year, that's a good gamble with 2 outs. Rios see if he can alter that swing and head back towards the middle. Think about middle and opposite field.
2-1.
Give yourself a chance to have more hits when you stay towards the middle.
Way outside, 3-1. Colon is on deck. Royals are 15 out of 15 stolen base attempts this year against Kurt Suzuki. Royals had a couple of stolen bases last night in Chicago. And now Hosmer is swiped second with 2 down in the 6th inning. That was ball 4.
Three and 1 count doesn't necessarily mean it's a home run swing count, and he's still trying to swing for it. Let's see if he can shorten it up.
Caught at 3rd by Plouffe. The Royals have stranded 5 and 4 in scoring position. It's the final week of the regular season. The Angels fight for a playoff spot against the AL West leading Rangers, and the Royals still hope to secure the league's best record in Game 2 with Minnesota. Coverage starts tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central Time, only on Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So Ventura and Malone tomorrow. Rodano Ventura was outstanding on Monday at Wrigley Field. And Tommy Malone, he has had a nice year for Minnesota, but there have been several starts in his career where he has given the Royals a bad time. So the Royals will see another tough lefty tomorrow. They took care of John Danks last night. 1-1 tie. Bottom of the 6th inning. Chris Young has retired 11 of the last 12. And the only man who has reached during that stretch was Escobar with a walk. 1-1 on Miguel Sano. Tomorrow, for the Fox broadcast of the Royals and the Twins, it'll be Aaron Goldsmith, Tom Verducci, and Ken Rosenthal. 2-1 on Sano.
When Young went in between innings, there wasn't much of a conversation. They looked at Young, and Young shook his head and said, "Come on, I'd like to go back out there again."
Delayed call and a strike.
That's a great pitcher's pitch there. Hitters don't like that, but good to see Culpa giving him that one on the inside.
Slider struck him out, and he's given Sano a bad time with that pitch all night. That is number 3 for Chris Young. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th.
You have a reputation like Chris Young throwing high fastballs. Hitters tell themselves, all right, I'm going to look up. I'm looking up, looking up, looking up. And then when you execute a fastball like the previous pitch on the inside part as a fastball, then you drop the slider on him. It's messing him up.
Chris Young at the moment is the Royals' number 5 starter, which means nothing for the playoffs. Trevor Plouffe shortening the bunt. But as the Royals think about their postseason roster, Chris Young really only has bullpen experience this year consistently, and he's done well. And I picture Chris Young in the postseason pitching on a night like tonight, and if he's fortunate to pitch in a big ballpark on a night like tonight, he's going to be a handful.
I agree. Medlin's provided a nice option for him, but to me, watching Danny Duffy pitch last night, emptying his tank at 98, he's going to be a weapon. Duffy will be. He'll be a surprise, beautiful opportunity for him to pitch out of that bullpen in some meaningful games. There's no question. Ooh, good pitch.
Move down on strikes. Another good slider from Chris Young. 2 up, 2 down. He is at 85 pitches.
But he is hitting that spot with his slider. Good enough to where hitters are saying, with 2 strikes, I got to try to foul it off at least. So excellent slider tonight.
Now Rosario got a slider but pulled it foul. Checking to make sure everybody's all right.
Hey, Dominic.
Another shot, and that's foul.
Good try, sir. Got the glove sitting right there. Couldn't happen. It was just too quick.
Rosario, a couple of nights ago in Cleveland, became a somewhat of a cult hero for a day. Did you see that Jose Ramirez bat flip against Minnesota on the home run?
I did.
Then Rosario homered late in the game, and he was screaming at Ramirez as he was rounding the bases and basically saying, this is how you run the bases when you hit a home run. And he is originally from Puerto Rico, so I imagine he was saying in Spanish, but It's not often you see a manager, especially somebody as calm as Paul Molitor, come to the top step and scream at a player like he did and the Twins did against Jose Ramirez a couple of nights ago.
Yep.
Chris Young strikes out the side with his slider. So now he has set down 14 of the last 15 Twins hitters. They do not have a hit since the second inning.
Can he talk him into one more?
Christian Colon, Drew Butera, and Gerard Dyson coming up in the 7th inning. Colon is 0 for 2. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, the only run the Royals have gotten was manufactured. Get him on, get him over, get him in.
That'll be out of play. Royals have 3 hits against Santana in 6 innings, but all 3 are extra base hits. Santana's also walked 3, coming up on 100 pitches. They are stirring in the Minnesota bullpen. Nobody is warming up at the moment. Now pitch number 100, and Colon is down on strikes. Only the 3rd for Irvin Santana. Now Drew Butera. That slider's outside. Salvador Perez left the game early last night with some swelling in his right thumb. So it was only natural to be concerned to not see him in there tonight. And Ned Yost said it was a combination of just giving him a little more time, and he wants him to catch tomorrow with the quick turnaround. It's a noon game here, so Salvi is expected to play. Popped up, center of the diamond. Escobar wants it. 2 outs. Gives Salvador Perez a chance to catch Yordano Ventura one more time before the postseason. Strong on both sides. Chris Young, 1 run, 4 hits. Irvin Santana, 1 run, 3 hits. And now Dyson, who has doubled twice. Is there a dugout in Major League Baseball that was designed for Chris Young?
No.
I guess if he wanted to sit down on the bench, but guys today like to sit on the top of the bench. It gives them a better view of the field.
Especially with the new fences they all have in front of the dugouts.
On the ground to Mauer. He'll race to the bag, and that's a quick top of the 7th inning for Santana. Stretch time. It's a 1-1 tie at Target Field.
He is back for the 7th inning. Panera takes us around the league. Told you about Toronto and their offense exploding once they were down in that game. LA and Texas tied up at 1, and neither one of those teams will be thrilled to see that Houston has jumped out to a 3-0 lead at Arizona. Our Mazda Game Break takes us to Phoenix. 3 runs in the first inning, including this single from the red-hot Chris Carter. That knocks in a pair, and the Astros, who have been really, really rough on the road this year, but dominant at home, are up early. Very interesting. We'll talk about all of that. Chris Young's performance, here from Ned Yost, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live.
All right, Joel, a slider strike from Young to Torrey Hunter. 90 pitches for Chris Young. Remember, in his last start, he threw 68. And before that start, Chris Young had 10 consecutive relief appearances where he never threw more than 53 pitches. But again, in between innings, and Ned Yost and Dave Island, probably more than anybody else, trust Chris Young. Chris Young is honest in saying, I'm done. That's all I've got for tonight. So if he says he's good, they're going to trust him.
I'll say he's good. He's executed more strikes in the lower half of the zone than I've seen him all year long. He really has a good downward angle tonight. So he has those low strikes capable in him.
One and two on Torrey Hunter. He has popped to short and grounded out to third. Chris Young has set down 14 of the last 15 Twins hitters. He struck out the side in the 6th inning. All on sliders. Hunter lays off that pitch. 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes.
He wanted this high strike, but it wasn't there.
Chop to Moustakas. He throws on the run. Hosmer helps him out on the other end.
You know, as that ball was in flight from Moustakas, Hosmer's glove was moving all around, almost clockwise. He's moving it back and forth as the ball was in flight, trying to figure out what glove angle he wanted. Tough play, not easy. Moose stays on top, but Hos with those trusty hands. Moose circles into the ball, getting some momentum going towards first base. That's important to get a good angle towards your target, and staying on top is really the key to keeping that ball straight. Let's see if we can check out Hosmer. Or even before that, he was moving his glove around and he was getting ready, very flexible with his wrists. Low to high. He starts down low and finishes high. And that's great because you never know that ball, when it bounces, it's much easier to have your glove on the ground and keep it there than if your glove's up in the air to go down and get it when it stays down. He has that down absolutely to a perfect. His glove is unbelievable.
3-0 on Hicks. He drove in Minnesota's run in the second inning with a single. And Minnesota does not have a hit against Chris Young since the second inning. And now a walk. That's Young's second. He is now at 100 pitches. So Ned Yost gave him a chance to get through the seventh so long as he was getting hitters out. And now he'll go to the bullpen. Well, no pitcher wants to leave the game after a walk in a tie in the late innings. That's an outstanding performance for Chris Young, considering that's just his second start since the end of July. Lewis Coleman comes out of the Royals bullpen with 1 on and 1 out. In the third innings. He also had a 7-inning start this season. And Lewis Coleman comes on for the first time since the middle of September, when he had to leave early with tightness in his shoulder. He's only appeared in 3 games at the big league level, and in 2 1/3 innings he has not allowed an earned run. Minnesota has a runner at first base with 1 out, and they have Kurt Suzuki at the plate.
2-seam sinker, slider. Keep it down, roll up a pair. A little crossfire action. Very deceptive to a righty. Suzuki didn't like it.
And a lot of hitters on both sides shaking their heads at tonight's strike zone.
Suzuki's grounded into 13 double plays.
And now down 0-2.
Coleman getting right in there. Look at that little angle there. That's where you want it. Keep it there. Hitter hits the top half of the ball. You hope he hits it at Escobar, Moose, or Colon. Either one of them.
Suzuki, with one out of the second inning, singled to left. That's the last Minnesota hit. Chris Young finished by retiring 15 of the last 17. And the only two he did not retire reached with walks. Grounded back to Coleman. Good feed to Escobar. Double play. And that was not easy for Escobar. Hicks was right on him. But he cleared the area, and Coleman gets the job done to get the Royals out of the seventh.
Way to pick up Chris Young. Good reaction. Waited a tick before Escobar got there. Beauty.
Certainly not from a dugout perspective like you have. But the baseball I've seen is when a starting pitcher is sitting in the dugout and the pitching coach comes over and says, "Hey, great job," and shakes his hand and smiles on both sides, and then other teammates come over and start patting him on the back. He's done, right?
You would think. The only thing that was missing was Paul Molitor, the skipper. So obviously that was just a congratulatory love from Neil Allen, his pitching coach. But then they weren't done. Other guys started coming over and saying, "Hey, good job." So yeah, you would think that he's done.
Now, we can't judge Santana by his demeanor in the dugout. You know, sitting back, elbow up on the back of the bench, because this is the same guy that when he pitched for the Royals, remember during a start, was sitting in the corner of the dugout in Tampa Bay and just eating a banana in between innings.
I remember that.
Looked like a guy who was just having a snack on the beach during vacation.
Right.
So he's about as cool and calm as they come.
Yep. And we rarely saw him sweat. Remember that year? We couldn't catch him perspiring.
1-2 to Escobar. Esky is grounded to second. He has put down a sacrifice bunt, and he is grounded to short. Escobar, Zobrist, Hosmer. Fourth time through against Santana, and Escobar into right center field. Did a great job of making contact down in the count, and he is on to begin the eighth inning.
Oh, yeah. Perfect time for a booty knock. Off balance, backside falls out. Go ahead and lay it out there. So bring that manager out. Coming in and bring in the lefty, Glenn Perkins.
All right, now he's out. And here is Glenn Perkins, a Chevy call to the bullpen. Nearly untouchable in the first half, and he was an all-star. But in the second half, dealing with some back spasms, he has really struggled, and he is no longer Minnesota's closer. Zobrist deep into left center field. That ball is off the wall. Escobar got a great read, so he was running on contact. He will score. The Royals take a 2-1 lead, and Zobrist is at second base with a double. In any other ballpark in America, that ball is gone to left center field.
Time for the do not disturb sign on Zobrist's bat after contact. That ball was squared up. He's looking dead red, and that's one of the problems that Perkins has had in the second half. That ball's right down the middle. Look at him, sets that bat down very quietly, and he does that after he squares the ball up. Not necessarily a home run ball, but good enough to score Eske from first.
Now Hosmer is nearly hit by a pitch.
Perkins fastball, slider, and he'll mix in a changeup here or there to righties.
Zobrist is now 3 for 5 against Perkins, and all 3 hits are doubles. Hosmer takes a fastball at 91, by the way, from Perkins, not the normal 94, 95, or 96.
Another closer that has lost a little bit of velocity on his fastball. Fastball, slider. Be looking for that heater out over.
Hosmer lost the grip on that swing. By the way, remember Greg Holland injured his elbow, they said last year, got through the playoffs, rested it, got through most of this year. He had Tommy John surgery today, so we hope he's all right. Perkins had elbow problems last year. He was shut down in the middle of September with a nerve issue in his left forearm. He had the whole offseason to rest, and that nerve got to a point where he had a great first half. So I'm sure people wonder if something hasn't flared up again. Now Hosmer to center field. Hicks is coming up, goes into a slide and makes a nice play. Zobrist holds at second base.
Excellent read by Zobrist. Be easy to take off on contact here, thinking that ball was just going to doink in there. But Zobrist said, nah, let's hold tight. That center fielder is good. He's got good acceleration to the ball. And he's able to glove that with no problem. A little sit-down slide. Moustakis. See if Moose can up that .293 average with a runner in scoring position.
Did you say 293?
Isn't that amazing?
Remember early in the year when he was getting a lot of base hits, but he was hitting about 212 or 215 with runners in scoring position. Wow.
Yep. A couple reasons for that is he was hitting second in the order, so there wasn't a whole lot of guys out there. But it's also the fact that he's using the opposite field more. He's got more RBIs, and this is the highest he's had with runners in scoring position at this particular time in his career, and it's because he's using the whole field.
Two and one. Moustakis really got into one in the 6th inning. He jumped on a hanging changeup from Santana, and Hicks made a nice running play. Ground ball, base hit right field. Zobrist around third, holds, and now Hunter bobbles in right. The throw is late. Moustakis goes to second, and the Royals lead 3-1. That is a big break because Mike Jersley held up Ben Zobrist. Torrey Hunter still has a strong arm, and he got to that ball in shallow right field. It is a single, an error on Hunter, no RBI. And Moustakis down to second base on the throw.
Torrey Hunter, he missed it coming in. Moose, good swing, by the way. Found that hole. And Torrey Hunter, when he reached down to pick it up, he looked up too soon and forgot one thing. And then Zobrist was able to stop and go quickly. Good insurance there.
Boy, look at this. This will show you where Perkins is now in his career. This is one of the elite closers earlier this year and years prior to that, and he is intentionally walking a left-hand batter, probably to set up Paul Molitor bringing in a righty to face Alex Rios. And you can't help but remember Perkins and Alex Gordon last year in August. And Denny Matthews made that now famous comment, if this is your year, these are the games that you win. And Alex hit the walk-off against Perkins, and now Perkins intentionally walks Alex. And yep, here comes Paul Molitor. And it'll be Trevor May with 2 on and 1 out to face Alex Rios.
Twins fans feel a little bit about Perkins like Royals fans with Holland. They can sympathize.
17 in September. Nothing to write home about yet. The Royals have won 2 straight, 3 of their last 5. But the starting pitching is back on track. That's 6 consecutive good starts. This isn't going to make them very happy for the time being, as Toronto has a half-game lead. But the Royals can only worry about what's going on here. And tonight and last night, no home runs, but back to playing the game and scoring runs like they normally do.
That's right. Escobar finding his bunt. He had a bunt hit last night. He had a sacrifice tonight.
Trevor May is on to face Alex Rios. The Royals have scored 2 in the inning. Rios was 0 for 3 against Santana.
Straight fastball. 90 to 95. Slider, curve, and a change.
Two and one.
Staying with the straight fastballs on the outer half, and you would, watching Rios in his previous at bats in tonight's game, been pulling, trying to pull everything.
Did he go? No swing. Larry Vanover is the first base umpire.
This is a situation right here where you don't want to hit into a double play for sure, and so you have to think middle away so you don't roll your hands over on a pitch to the shortstop or the third baseman. You got to think that way here.
Right idea. That's a little better swing.
A little better. He's just hitting 160 with runners in scoring position all year long. He's hadn't been over 200. It's because he's trying to pull in situations where there's runners to be knocked in.
And usually with runners in scoring position, the first thing a pitcher is going to do is avoid giving him a pitch to pull. Bases are loaded. So May comes on and walks Rios, and now a big chance here for Christian Colon. I've heard big RBI guys like Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera say that when they come up with a runner in scoring position, and by the way, the Royals are 1 for 10 tonight, but that they here the best in the game, and future Hall of Famers say with runners in scoring position, they shorten up their swing and they try and use the middle of the field or the opposite field.
And most of the guys not just have the highest average with runners in scoring position, but have the most RBIs. They shorten up and they just try to place it out there in the opposite field. Paulo Orlando pinch running. Now I'd like to see Colon a little more aggressive on the first pitch. First or second pitches, see if Trevor May tries to get that strike on him. Colon likes to take a few pitches, but with them loaded up, be ready.
Outside for ball 1.
May knows hitters are looking for first pitch fastballs with them loaded. As a team, the Royals this year 313 with them loaded.
Colon has only batted once with the bases loaded in his big league career, and he walked. In that plate appearance, he was able to stay calm. That ball was riding back in on his hands, and it's 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Escobar started the inning with a single against Santana. Santana came out of the game. And Escobar, by the way, did a very good job with 2 strikes of just putting the ball in play. Royals lately have been piling up the strikeouts, but tonight doing a good job with 2 strikes. That got it started. Zobrist doubled him home. Zobrist scored on a fielding error by Hunter in right field. The Royals have 2 in the inning. Struck him out. Fastball that was not a strike. And now Butera heads back to the Royals dugout. And out comes Kendrys Morales. Well, you can understand why Colon swung at that pitch. With the bases loaded and 1 out, he's probably looking for something up to get into the air.
Yeah, and with that kind of hair on that fastball from Trevor May, that ball was right where he wanted it, May. And perfect spot for Kendrys Morales here. Bases loaded. Ned said he was available to pinch hit. And it's an ideal situation for him, especially with 2 outs, where he's one of the best in hitting with 2 outs.
He has a Royals record for 2-out RBIs, and he also leads the American League. 52 driven in with 2 outs. Remember, Morales last year signed with the Twins after he didn't sign during the offseason and didn't start playing until after the draft. They were hoping for a big year from him. He never hit a home run for the Twins here at Target Field. So what does he do in his first at bat as a Royal at Target Field? He hit a home run. In fact, he has 2 at Target Field this year. Came out of the game early last night with tightness in his right thigh area. In the air to left field. Royals get 2. They had a chance to put the game away, but they'll settle for the 2 runs. Head into the back end of the bullpen. Ben Zobrist drives in a run with a double. Escobar started the rally with a single, and then Mike Moustakas with a base hit. An error on the play led to the 2nd run. By your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. Beautiful downtown Minneapolis on an equally beautiful early fall evening. And the Royals have a 3-1 lead. 6 outs to go on defense. Salvador Perez will take over behind the plate as Ned Yost pinch hit for Drew Butera. Paulo Orlando ran for Alex Rios, so he stays in and right. And it'll be Ryan Madson in the bottom of the 8th to face Minnesota's 9-1-2 hitters.
Having that closing experience in his days in the National League is huge. Playoff experience, and he has the stuff. Fastball low to mid to upper 90s. You'll see some 97 from him. Good low pitch there. Wasn't a strike, but that's where you want to stay. Great changeup he'll use to lefties or righties. He's been fabulous. Another run. That last half inning would have been nice, but they got a lead.
That fastball had some sinking movement to it. Normally his fastball cuts, if anything.
Yeah, a little action there.
One and two.
Time for the changeup.
And a ground ball, base hit into center field. So he got the changeup, didn't get it down enough. And Escobar is on to begin the bottom of the 8th.
Changeup heading away. That's where it is, and that's where he wanted it, but it was just elevated enough for Escobar to get his bat on it. Found the hole up the middle.
Brian Dozier with a runner at first, nobody out. Back to Madson. Out at second, double play. Second in the last 2 innings for a Royals reliever. Lewis Coleman came on with 1 on, 1 out, and he got Suzuki to ground into a double play.
That was a beautiful thing.
It all started with Chris Young. He gave up 1 run in 6 1/3. Here are the sprint cuts of the game.
I've never seen him execute down in that strike zone like he was tonight. He was down, but with everything. He gave up a few pop-up fly balls like he normally does, but man, he was on top of his game. Mixing up that slider in there. Okay, couple of change-ups he threw, not a lot of them. Madson with a little extra life, like you said, right on. That's a 2-seamer with some running action.
This is a big, big out. As the guy waiting on deck might be the only guy strong enough to hit one out tonight, and he's going to get a chance to come to the plate. Madson gives up 2 hits. So that double play was big. That's Mauer's second hit. And now Sano. So the save comes in the 9th inning. That's where the stat comes, but sometimes the game is decided earlier than the 9th inning, and this might be it right here.
Talked about his Madson's closing experience. He's able to slow the game down. He understands what it's like to pitch late in ball games on the road. See if it can execute here. Sano's dangerous. Cutters.
And looks in, wondering why that wasn't called a strike. That is called a strike. 1-1.
Okay, if he's going to throw that changeup at all to Sano in this at bat, he's got to make sure that thing's on on the tops of his ankles. I mean down. So if he does hit it, he keeps it in the yard.
And away. Sano is facing Madsen for the first time. Well, that was down, like you said, right by his ankles.
That's where you want to execute him there. If you're Sano, you can't be thinking about that changeup. You still got to be ready for the fastball. But you know, we've seen Madsen double up, triple up on his changeup sometimes. It's such an excellent pitch for him.
And he has thrown nothing straight in this inning. Lays off it. 2-2. Struck him out. 3 straight changeups.
There you go. Single, double up, triple up. And that one was the best one. What a location. And what an excellent pitch. The Madsen Mauler is at it again.
Pitches. With the leadoff man on, you got Brian Dozier to ground into a double play, and then with Maurer on and 2 down, and maybe the only right-hand batter who could hit one out to left field tonight, Miguel Sano. Madsen kept his cool. He's been there, done that. He's pitched in the World Series with Philadelphia, and he struck out Sano with 3 consecutive changeups, and the Royals come up in the 9th inning to face Kevin Jepsen with a 2-run lead. It'll be Dyson, Escobar, and Zobrist.
Outstanding relief jobs by Lewis Coleman coming in. Hadn't pitched in several weeks. Looked sharp. Madsen. Those runs were huge. See if they can add on another one. Kevin Jepsen, fastball, slider. He'll throw some cutters. 94, 95.
Well, if you go by the book, the manager at home will use a closer in a tie game in the 9th inning. But Minnesota's down by 2, and this game is so important to the Twins. So Paul Molitor is going to go with his closer with his team down, and Jepsen drops the ball. Down by 2, and he goes with the closer, and the closer makes the pitch. He just doesn't make the catch.
Dyson bearing down that line. He knows, he sees it all in front of him. The guy with speed from the left side of the box, he's smelling that finish line, and Jepsen would have gotten him just barely. But he dropped it, so that should be charged in error. E1.
Minnesota can't help but do some scoreboard watching. And if they do, they see that Houston leads at Arizona 6-0 in the bottom of the third inning. And that's with Dallas Keuchel pitching for the Astros. So if this game holds, if that game holds, the only way Minnesota has a chance is if they win tomorrow and Sunday and Houston loses tomorrow and Sunday, and that would just be good for a tie.
It's going to be a crazy finish. There's no doubt.
Line to right field. Torrey Hunter is there to make the play. Throws back to first. And Dyson is back in time. And to add to Minnesota's situation, the Angels have just taken a 2-1 lead in the top of the ninth inning at Texas, and they have a runner at first with nobody out. And Minnesota is tied at the moment with the Angels, one game out of the wild card.
See if Jarrod Dyson will attempt to get his 27th steal.
Strike to Ben Zobrist.
It's not like Jepson's taking his time getting the ball home. He's slide stepping and he's getting it home in less than 1.3 seconds.
But that is somewhat negated by the throwing arm of Kurt Suzuki. Royals do have a stolen base tonight, and they are 15 out of 15 this year against Kurt Suzuki. It was Hosmer who stole second in the 6th inning. Not running, and in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the one you run on. And you know, runners over there can get a couple of steps off the bag, appear that they're looking at the pitcher and then glancing and seeing if they can see between the catcher's thighs if more than one finger being put down. And usually that's a telltale sign of being off-speed pitch. Some runners peak, some don't. Dyson, extremely confident base runner.
Not running, and fouled away by Zobrist. Now we'll see if Dyson takes a shot at it, expecting Jepson to go to his slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Being a premium base stealer is an attitude. Dyson brings that. He's downright arrogant when he gets out there. He doesn't need to peek in and look at try to find the catcher moving his fingers.
There's a little flinch there, but he's able to get back, so he's thinking about going. And then there are times when you have that kind of speed, Hud, that you just have to go. You don't need a perfect jump.
Right. He usually gets large leads, and that makes up a big difference when you can get off to a good lead like he's got right there and get back safely. Get you that much closer to second.
Again, a little flinch. Out. Boy, how many times have the Royals been picked off in the last 2 weeks? Now Dyson is refusing to leave because he feels like he was safe as the Royals take another look. And
like
Ned Yost comes out and says, hey, let's review that.
His hand was on the base.
You sure about that?
Looked to me like he tagged that far corner, and that's what you want to do if you're diving back into first base. The farthest place away from where the tag's going to be. You see the hands on the bag right there.
You know what? I'm with you, Hud, but again, I've said this 100 times this year. It sure looks like worked last year, but it hasn't worked this year, and they're going to make a decision very quickly, and he's going to be safe. If so,
that was the 100.
All right,
that was the 101st time.
I'm just spooked. That's all. I'm just spooked.
I know, but Dyson did a great job of diving to the outside part of that base. That's what you do. Makes that tag a lot longer. And remember, Bauer's a right-handed first baseman too. Haas has the glove on the other hand. It's an easier pick there. But that's the maximum lead you can get without getting thrown out. What Dyson had, without the little turn towards second.
Zobrist, deep and foul to right field. Base hit right field. That's a good sign to see Zobrist have swings like he's had in his last two at bats, one right-handed and one left-handed. Only out in this inning was Escobar's line out to Hunter in right field.
And that ball is on the outer half of the plate. He turned on it. Dyson freezing, less than 2 outs. Want to get doubled up now. Terrence Gore is in to score.
Fastball strike to Hosmer. He has been on base twice. 2 walks. He has stolen a base. He also drove in a run with a ground out, giving him 92 driven in, adding to his new season high.
Maybe we see a double steal.
This would not be a by the book double steal with a left-hand batter at the plate.
No, it wouldn't, but
they could still pull it off.
These are not by the book base runners here. Gore, he's watching Dyson. It's all up to Gerard Dyson. Gore will make that easy into second base.
Two. Escobar made a move to second base, so Jepson backs off as his shortstop was out of position. And we know Hosmer has the ability to go the other way, and that essentially left the left side of the infield wide open. Two and two. With 2 walks, Hosmer has 59, giving him a new career high to go with career highs in RBIs and runs scored. Foul back. Dyson wanted to run. He took about 2 steps and didn't like his jump, and he stopped.
You know, just because you have that ability to steal bases doesn't mean you have to go out and steal. Just the presence alone can mess with Jepson, the pitcher, take his thoughts off of Hosmer. Hos will take another one of those fastballs.
Inside, 3-2. Well, when Hosmer was 3-2 earlier in the game, Ned Yost elected to run Ben Zobrist. Now 3-2 with great speed. Will he send Dyson and Gore? Yes. Popped up. Bauer runs near his own dugout. 2 down. Too close to take.
Yeah, it was. And the ball was in. He made a good pitch.
And now Jepsen gets Mike Moustakas. Mike Moustakas has the only hit tonight with a runner in scoring position, and that did not drive in a run. A run did score on the play because of an error, but otherwise the Royals are 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. More times than not, that does not mean or result in having the lead. But that's what the Royals have, and now it's 2-0 on Moustakas.
You know, Jepsen made a little funny move after he delivered that pitch and has Suzuki a little bit concerned. He went out there after the pitch. Jepsen looked down at the ground, looked like he's having some issue with his legs.
Paul Molitor went to the top step of the dugout. He was ready to go out there and check on Jepsen. (3-0). Alex Gordon is on deck. Borderline strike, 3-1. And we'll see what happens if Alex does come to the plate. Paul Molitor has used Jepsen for 20 pitches, and he does have other options in the bullpen, including the lefty Neil Kotz. Blaine Boyer is the righty. Good swing and a fastball up, 3-2. And now with the runners going, it is possible that a single could score 2. A well-placed single, but a single with Gore running. You never know. There they go, and Moustakas pops it up. Well, Jepsen got into trouble, and he got out of trouble. His error started the inning. The Royals had world-class speed on the bases. Jepsen gets out of it. The Royals have stranded 10. 2-run lead to the bottom of the ninth. double dose of bad news. They were tied with the Angels, one game out of the wild card. The Angels have won, and in Arizona, Houston leads 7-1 in the 4th inning. So this could be a crushing blow to Minnesota's playoff hopes. All they have to do is score 2 or more runs against Wade Davis, and it'll be Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, and Torrey Hunter as Davis comes on for his 16th save. It's been a very good pitching night for the Royals, beginning with Chris Young, who hadn't made a start since the end of July. And now in his last 2 starts, he has allowed 1 run in 11 in the 3rd innings. Coleman and Madsen have pitched very well out of the bullpen. And now the beast, Wade Davis. Curveball is down and away to Plouffe. Plouffe is 0 for 3.
Davis rarely throws first pitch curveballs. You want to get Plouffe off his fastball. 90 to 97. Cutters in the low 90s.
Laid on a fastball, 1-1. One hit in 6 at-bats, and that 1 hit was a home run.
Maybe that's why he got the first pitch curve. Just to get him to think about that.
On the ground to Escobar. Plouffe throws his bat in disgust as Escobar throws him out. And now 1 down to Eddie Rosario. Telling you last night, it's just the 4th time in Royals history that the Royals have had 2 closers with 15 or more saves. Davis has 15, and Greg Holland, who is scheduled to have Tommy John surgery today, has 32. Eddie Rosario, breaking ball, he takes it the other way, and it's foul. Rosario scored Minnesota's run in the top of the 2nd inning and gave Minnesota a 1-0 lead. They have not scored since. To Moustakas. Third baseman will tell you that is the toughest play right there. Playing in and a line drive low to the ground from a left-hand batter.
Yeah, but when you got hands like Moose, they are soft. No problem. He'll find a way. Look at him with that smile out there. These guys are having fun.
And now Torrey Hunter. Today's voting for MVP is more based on numbers, and more numbers that we didn't used to pay attention to. But in the old days, MVP was not only most valuable player, but the most valuable player to his team. Meaning, where would his team be without him? And if Minnesota, again, if they were to get a wild card seed, I don't think in today's age Torrey Hunter would get any MVP consideration. But if you begin to think about HUD, the most valuable player to his team, what one player impacted his team more than any other? Where would Minnesota be right now without Torrey Hunter?
No, I know where you're going, and you should go there. He has been their star. What he does inside the clubhouse is a lot of fun. It's one of the reasons that these guys are all stirred up.
Totally changed the culture, changed the way the players think about the games, prepare for the games, and celebrate the wins. Right field, into the corner. Paulo Orlando did not make the play. It landed foul up against the side wall. And here's an old school type of a player, but Torrey Hunter, this is what the Twins do when they win. They put on a laser show. They get the smoke machine going. This is after every win. It's a dance party.
Check out those glasses.
Look at that. Look at you get the players' kids in there.
Yeah, they got a ball boy in there. That's beautiful.
Strike 3 called, and the Royals take game 1, and they have won the season series against the Minnesota Twins for a 3rd straight year. Wade Davis, 3 up, 3 down, picks up his 16th save.
Waiter, check please. Way to go. Where's that smile, Ned? Come on. I know you got it in you. Come on. Oh,
it's coming.
Oh, what a game.
We will get a smile before Joel interviews the player on the field.
That cutter was filthy, and Torrey Hunter is, much as I hate to say it, you got to go. There's Ned. There it is.
There
All right,
go.
It's coming up.
Hang on. It's going to get bigger than that. I have faith.
And they did it without 3 of their best players tonight.
Well, maybe we missed it. So the Royals, they've won 3 straight for the first time since the end of August. They have now won 4 of their last 6. So signs that the Royals are pulling out of that month-long slump. And that's 6 consecutive outstanding starts by a Royals pitcher. And the Royals with 93 wins. That's the most wins the Royals have had since 1980 when they went to the World Series against the Phillies.
Love it when he sets that bat down, means he made solid contact. Ben Zobrist. Got to come out of your little funk and get a couple of big knocks.
And he can't wait to chat with Joel.
Well, it's 2 nights in a row, which means it's been a good couple of nights for the Royals and for Ben Zobrist. It's not as cold tonight. Or not quite as cold.
Thank you. Thank you, Salvi.
Okay, let's talk about it. Last night we were discussing how it feels like things are starting to turn. First 3-game winning streak since August. What's been going better for you?
Well, I think our starters and relievers have done a phenomenal job. I mean, tonight, you can't ask CY to do anything more than he's done in the last 2 starts. He's been phenomenal, getting us into the 7th there. And then Coleman, Madsen, and Davis, those guys just shut it down. They threw great, and that's really what gets you those big wins.
You know, earlier in the year, and certainly from the time you came over, there was always that feeling that if the game was close, the bullpen would do its job late, and you guys would take care of business. That's starting to happen again?
Yeah. I mean, that's such an important part of the game is just getting late in the game and being right there. You know, it was 1-1 in the 7th, the 8th inning there, and you know, if we have enough time, I believe we'll get the timely hit, and I was able to get it tonight.
Last thing, you touched on what CY Chris Young was able to do tonight. Put aside baseball for a moment. We're all humans. Can you even fathom what he has been going through and the focus that he's been able to maintain?
No, you know, it's just incredible. I don't think words can describe the courage that he's had this week with his father passing away, and just the kind of teammate he is. Just can't say enough about the guy, you know, and then how he's playing on top of that is just, it's icing on the cake. You know, his character is just way up there.
Well said. Couldn't say it any better. Ben Zobrist, great job tonight.
All right, thanks.
There's Ben Zobrist. He's got a 2-game interview streak going. Royals have now won 3 in a row and been a big part of this one, guys.
Good signs. And not the one that lady was holding, but good signs that the Royals are getting finely tuned for the postseason. We'll be right back.